Hi, welcome to yet another video on my channel, and today we have Dr. Fanny Janet, who is my very close friend, and she's a physiotherapist who works at Abhinav Bindra Targeting Performance Centre at Padukone-Dravid Centre for Sports Excellence. Today's topic is understanding why muscle soreness happens. You must have noticed this feeling after working out, after giving a long gap, and sometimes when you've probably strained your muscle as well. So let's understand more about it. Dr.
Sure.
Fanny, welcome to the video.
Thank you, Spurti, for having me in your channel once again.
Also, if you haven't checked out our first video, I'm going to link it on top here. It's about using hot pack and cold pack, understanding which one needs to be used when. So please check it out. A lot of people have appreciated it, and I'm sure it could help you. So the first thing we want to know, Fanny, is what is muscle soreness and how does it happen?
Muscle soreness is basically a reaction to the muscles when you put in it through some undue stress from its normally what it's accustomed to, or while you perform or you give it a novel stimulus. If you push it more than its normal range, or you give a new type of a work to the muscle, you will have a certain amount of micro tears happening, like microscopic. It's not literally like an injury or a muscle tear as such. These micro tears that have as usual wear and tears that happen in our body, and that leads to inflammation, and that's why you will have something called as a muscle soreness after your workouts.
Okay, yeah.
Muscle soreness after your workout is actually a good sign that you have actually given a good workout or a good training to your muscle, and that it's going through some changes, which at the moment probably during the soreness is painful, but the aftermath of it or the good benefits of it are sure. But yes, like everything, you need to have it within its limits.
Yeah.
Anything overdone is also again a problem, and you should definitely experience pain, soreness after a workout, but not to an extent where we were talking about even to lift a toothbrush and eating and moving around. So that is a clear indication that you have overworked or you've put your muscles into too much of a stress than what you require.
The next thing we want to understand is sometimes this soreness occurs right after a workout, and on certain occasions it starts building slowly and reaches its peak a few days after the workout. Is there a difference?
Definitely. So muscle soreness is actually categorized into something called as AMS and DOMS. So it is actually, normal muscle soreness in general basically sets in somewhere like after 12 hours and peaks somewhere between 24 to 72 hours. That depends from individual to individual. So that is what is called as DOMS. So to understand clearly, there's something called AMS, like I mentioned, which stands for acute muscle soreness. So while you're working out, or immediately after you worked out, or before 12 hours of working out, if you have a lot of soreness in your muscle experience, that means it's an acute muscle soreness. Whereas the ones that actually happens as a reaction or to the growth of the muscle that usually comes up is the DOMS, that is delayed onset of muscle soreness, which usually takes place after 12 hours and peaks around somewhere like 24 to 72 hours. So which time that it takes for each person, it depends from each body type and how their body type is and their reaction, and the recovery for it is also done for them. But in general, this is how it is.
Okay. And also I've noticed, coming to the next point, is there are a lot of misconceptions.
Very true.
There are so many vague thoughts and understanding about it. So can you share what the top 3 or 4 misconceptions are?
So definitely I'll give you 3 misconceptions majorly that it has to be myth broken. Is that usually while working out, stretching is definitely important, but holding into one position, which is static stretching is called as, and thinking that you're recovering it or you're taking away the muscle soreness is a very wrong thing to do. So while your muscles are sore, do not stretch them. I know it's so difficult to believe it, but the thing is that you would want to warm up your muscles Yes, of course, but you don't stretch it statically, but you do it dynamically. You need to understand that, like I mentioned, it's got micro tears in it and it's inflamed. It's got some kind of internal, very, very minuscule levels of bleeding, and it's trying to heal. So if you got a scar, a bruise over here, you will keep stretching your skin thinking it will improve the elasticity. So if it happens internally, you need to assume it to be something like that. Scientifically, stretching has not yielded any great benefit or curbed or prevented soreness.
Okay, because whenever I have soreness in my hamstrings or even my biceps, I continue stretching it the next day within like every 24 hours, 40, 72. And I think we've all ended up believing that, oh, it feels nice stretching, it's actually helping relaxing. But it's okay.
It's not something that everyone have to beat themselves about. It's like science is ever evolving and you keep learning new things. And in recent years, what the public hasn't learned really is that, you know, or probably they should know, is that, you know, stretching for soreness is not going to be the treatment. Because that's what we usually assume it to be. So that's number one. And then number two would be ice packs do help in immediate injuries and inflammations and swellings, but the concept of an ice bath therapy for the whole body to be immersed in everything has also not proven, again scientifically, it's not me saying this, is science saying it, that, you know, hasn't really yielded such great of benefit in recovering or healing a muscle soreness. So rather they found that your heat packs or warmth has actually given you much better muscle recovery and everything, because the active pain that you have at that moment sedates your nerve endings and your experience of the you know, the pain is much lesser. So I'm not saying stop ice packs, or I'm not contradicting to what was told before. Maybe, you know, the feel of it is good for some people, or symptomatically fine, good, well, but this is entirely different. Third thing is that I have many of my friends who are even like into the medical field and doctors themselves. They go work out and everything and they immediately take your NSAIDs or your anti-inflammatories, like for example your ibuprofen or pain relieving tablets and all. You don't want to curb the inflammation. Only when the inflammation is there, yes, of course it gives the pain with muscle soreness, but that inflammation is the first step for a recovery and healing, for the muscle to grow stronger, build itself to become, you know, adaptable, to do something more than what it was used to do. Yes, it numbs the pain, but all the effort that you put in, all the time and energy you've put in to get stronger muscles is lost. So no static stretching, ice bath is again, it's not a good option, and then your NSAIDs or your anti-inflammatories, absolutely
avoid. Got it. These are the top 3 misconceptions. I hope you are noting this. Now coming to prevention. Is there something we can do before our workout, after a long break, to prevent the soreness?
Right, so preventing it is by actually adopting certain methods. Now, you cannot completely nullify or stop a muscle soreness to occur. The most essential parts is to have a good warm-up routine. And you know, your exercise programming should be that good, that, you know, your warm-up is well, your frequency and the intensity, the volumes in which you're using, like, you know, the weights you're taking or the number of repetitions you're doing, all of that have to be modulated. You need to have enough of rest breaks in between as well, and more important is that you have to cool down your muscles also well. The cool down step has always been missed, or it's done for namesake, not efficiently. Hence the you know, the point of it is lost entirely. So, the muscle goes into a state of hyper awareness or shock, and you leave it just be by itself. It's always going to be staying in that position, right? So the first thing to do is, like, for example, I was saying warm up, like I said, rather than static stretching, please do dynamic stretching. So if you're a person, high knees, lunges, like if you're a person who's going to go for a run, then probably you just don't want to stretch your calf and only your hams and quads or glutes. You want to actually start doing some, like, you know, alternate lunges, some hops, you know, skips, and so on and so forth. Skips, it's a great way to actually warm up your entire body, even your cardiovascular system actually. So these are the movements. So whatever movement you do them like, you know, 20% lesser, or just mimic the same movements. If you're going to do a weight lift or clean and snatch today, just go take not a barbell, but like, you know, a PVC pipe or something which is a little lesser weighted barbell, and you mimic those actions, get it ready for it.
These are some golden tips.
And then I was talking about your intensity of the program. So it should be not too much in terms of its intensity and volume. So if you were doing your bicep curls, let's say 20 kgs, and you were doing 20 reps of that before you finished, get back to doing just like 7.5 and 10 repetitions of it.
Okay.
So that way you will build up and come in. So gradual progression in your workout is very important. And then also resting the muscle the next day.
Okay, not immediately going and working out if they are sore.
Yeah.
I used to think you should work out to kill the soreness.
No, you know what? That's again a big misconception. So people do that mistake a lot. If you're having muscle soreness, do not work out that muscle. Go for your gym, do your workouts, but some other targeted muscle group. And then by rest, I mean not like, you sit in a sofa couch because you've become sore, or, you're not going for workout. Give active rest.
Okay,
so
walk.
Yes, walk is great. Static cycling or just slow cycling is great. Swimming is a great option for a good muscle recovery and to activate those muscles. So you don't want to put them in a dormant state after an intense workout the next day, because again that's not matching up to what you want. So you give some activity for it, but not over push it. And the third day of it, you rest that muscle completely. So you can keep changing the muscle groups in which you're working in. And your cool down to finish up with should be the part where it's actually longer than your warm-up, if you ask me. So my own athletes, I handle athletes, so I ask them, if you actually warm up for 15 minutes, I would want them to cool down for 20 minutes. That's when it's great. And the major part to do it is, everyone wants to know how to recover. You can't go for immersions or Epsom salts and things. Just get a foam roller for yourself. Foam roll it.
My favorite.
Exactly. And it's wonderful, right? It's like giving your own self a wonderful massage, and you feel so light and nice. It's such a mood lifter, like your normal Swedish massages.
True.
So yeah.
Okay, now coming to the last point is, what are some of the treatments or hacks or cure for muscle soreness?
So for muscle soreness, like I said, it's something that we cannot avoid it at all. So there is no one panacea for it. Joint ice packs are great, but the entire muscle is sore. You feel so like painful and heavy. Just keep mild warm packs, not really hot packs, but just warm packs to calm and set it just for 10 to 15 minutes. That's more than enough. And then give yourself some active rest. By actually engaging those muscles, you will start feeling much better. Just the first step or the first movement is difficult, but after that you will see your muscle itself, because you will pump in more blood by making the muscle work. So when the blood pumps in, more oxygen comes to the blood, the faster it recovers, and the painful substance also washes away. So for that reason, have an active rest. That is the major cure also for it. Other than this, there are supplements. I don't want to get into the details because I'm not a nutritional expert, but then like I said, working with athletes, the major thing, and science has also proven that omega-3 fish oils, those supplements of 1 to 3 grams per day extra than you think what you're taking, they help in a good recovery, and they're not going to cause you any harm. Off late, of course, there is also a lot of studies and articles coming up with caffeine being the thing. So use caffeine before you go to work out. It really activates you. Yes, it does have its effect, but the amount of caffeine required for it is really high. It's 400 grams. So you need 4-5 cups of coffee to it. So yeah, I do not know. It's not something I would vouch for, but yeah, these are the things which
I have heard that having citric-rich food like orange juice, lemon water after working out, or when your muscles are sore, helps. Is citric acid supposed to help? Electrolyte balance restoring after that through citric acid is fantastic. So tender coconut is the best thing. We live in India. I think we have to really make best use of it, because I've heard people who come, coaches from Denmark, who were just so happy to get it naturally here, and he just went right, left and center drinking it. So it's so easily available to us. It's right now also summers for us. So I think we all need to make use of the season. So in terms of electrolyte, yes, citrus foods is good. Protein shakes again is another big thing. So whatever it is, have a professional consult and do it. Do not go injure your internal organs by taking things in your hands. Right. So I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much. Anytime. It's my pleasure, Stuti. I really hope that these tips will be useful, and do share the video with your family and friends, especially those who love to work out. Some of the myths that I had were also busted today, and thank you so much for watching. Please give it a big thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Sure. Bye-bye. even
muscles.
started this good lighting.
Okay.
You also go back.
ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು I think we've got to be really quick with our yeah you were saying